Good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss about interference by wedge-shaped film. So before we have to discuss or going to derive about its mathematical derivations for maxima, minima, or how the fringe pattern will be observed in wedge-shaped film with the condition of maxima and minima, first we have to know exactly what is called as the so-called wedge-shaped film. Here, wedge-shaped film means two parallel planes inclined with a small angle, very small angle. When the two parallel planes inclined with a small angle theta, and in the gap we have to consider another medium. Due to this arrangement, we can find the thickness of this gap is increasing in this way, or we can say that the thickness of the gap is not uniform in between two parallel plate. Then this type of arrangement will be called as wedge-shaped film. So in this arrangement, when the light ray will be incident, then due to reflections inside this area or in the wedge-shaped, we can find the interference pattern. Detail we are going to be discussed. So practically I am going to show you how a wedge-shaped film can be formed. Consider these two parallel planes. Okay, if I am going to put like this, then the gap in between this is 0. Okay, so now we have to fixed at one end. Suppose this end we have to be fixed. Now here I have been fixed this end by this rubber, and this end is free. Now if I am going to insert a object like this, then we can find the wedge-shaped film in between this plane. See, here, from here to this end, if we have to move, then we can find the thickness of the film. The thickness of the film is not uniform, or the thickness is gradually increasing. So this is the procedure that in which way we can form a thin wedge-shaped film. So in our lab also one experiment you are going to be perform. You can perform whenever you by using a sodium lamp and by using the glass slides. So here I have been given two scales for your understanding, but in our lab class I will be show you that if we are going to take the slides, you have been saw in your medical diagnosis center, glass slides. If instead of two scales, if we are going to take two glass slides, and we have to put here a small paper. So here I have been put a small rubber like this. So film has been formed, and the thickness also not uniform, it is gradually increasing. So in this way we can construct a wedge-shaped film. Okay, now we have to move towards its mathematical derivations. So with starting of interference by wedge-shaped film, whatever I given you note, in that note two figures are there. This is the first figure, then another figure, the ray diagrams will be there. So in this figure there is no confusion. So you can draw this figure. I will also upload when class will be start. Here is one plate and this is another plate. It is these two plates are placed, or in between these two plates a thin paper sheet has been introduced, due to which these two plates are inclined with an angle theta. And in these two plates let air medium is present. So in between these two plates also we can introduce some other medium of refractive index mu. Okay, so this figure you can draw. Now we have to move towards the mathematical derivations. For the mathematical derivation, we have to first analyze or first understand properly exactly in this figure what is going on. So as this figure is not clear, I will give you the proper diagram of this figure that you have to draw. So before we have to start the mathematical derivations of the wedge-shaped film, first we have to go thoroughly the ray diagrams in case of wedge-shaped film. Okay, so here OM and ON are two planes are placed with an angle theta, or in between these two planes the angle is theta. Let here the thickness is T. So as this theta is very small, in between these two planes. So here at this point let the thickness is T at this point, but the thickness is gradually increasing if we have to move from the contact of the two planes. From here to this side the thickness of the film is gradually increasing. Let consider in between these two planes one medium is present, that is mu, its refractive index. In between these two planes let a medium having refractive index mu is present. Above this it is a air medium, below this it is also air medium. So this is the overall construction of the wedge-shaped film. Now we have to consider the ray diagram. So in the ray diagram, here S is the source point. From S, initially the incident ray is this one, SA. At the point A, one reflected ray is AP and another refracted ray is AB. Here AB ray will be slightly bent towards the normal. This dotted line is the normal at the point A. So due to refraction, or this is the medium with higher refractive index mu, then the refracted ray will be slightly bent towards the normal, and refracted angle is R. Here this is the I is the incident angle, reflected angle will be I, this is the refracted angle. Now at point B, again two ray we can get, one is refracted, another is reflected. As we are observing the interference pattern, or the viewer is here, then we should not be consider this side rays, we have to consider this side ray. So at point B, the so-called refracted ray in this way will be not to be considered. Now at point B, the so-called reflected ray will be B to C. Then at C, again two things can happen. One is reflected, another is refracted. So here, as viewer is here, the so-called reflected ray in this way is not to be considered here. Only we have to consider the refracted ray, that is CQ. So at C, the so-called normal is this one. So ray BC can be moved in this way if there is no change of medium. But if the ray is changing or ray is moving from higher refractive index to lower refractive index AR, then it will be moved away from the normal, that is along CQ. This is the ray diagram or ray motion in wave-shaped film. Now, due to interference of AP and CB, the viewer which will be here can be visualized fringe pattern. Fringe pattern, that is dark, bright, dark, bright, dark, bright. This type of pattern can be observed by the viewer, which will be this side of the film. Here we have been introduced a lens, because when these two rays are not parallel, okay, these two rays, when AP and CQ are not parallel, so these two rays will be enter into the eye if we have to place a convex lens along their propagation path. So these two rays will be strike the lens and it will be moved to the eye. Again it will strike here and move towards the eye. So likewise the viewer can be view the fringe pattern, dark, bright, dark, bright, dark, bright, like that. So we know that due to destructive interference we can found the minima or dark fringe. For constructive interference we can found maxima or bright fringes. So for minima condition, maxima condition, we need some mathematical calculation. For that, other things like this line has been extended, again this angle, other things has been considered. So for that we have to first go through the general things, whatever 8 we have been discussed. So here we can see that the two rays, that AP and CQ, after emerging this side will be interfere and we are going to get the so-called fringes. So now the two rays are this one, S to A to B, B to C, then C to Q. So this ray is traveled, the path is this one, S to A to B, B to C, C to Q is one path. Another ray is S to A and A to P. So in between two rays, which one traveled the largest distance or longer distance? That is S to A to B, B to C, C to A. So now the path difference between this ray and this ray will be, the path difference between S to A to B, B to C, C to Q and S to A, these are the hyphens, okay, these are the arrow marks. So and S to A to P will be form the interference pattern. So now the path difference between this ray and this ray will be SA plus SB plus BC plus CB this is not CB, this is CQ. Okay, you have to correct it, this is CQ. So SA plus SB plus BC plus CQ minus SA minus SP will be the so-called path reference between the two rays. So here SA will be got cancelled, then AB plus BC plus CQ minus AP. Here also this is also AP. Okay, you have to correct it. This is CQ and this is AP. So SA got cancelled. This will be AB plus BC plus CQ minus AP. Okay. Now here CQ minus AP will be AD. Come to the figure. That is CQ minus AP. CQ minus AP will be equal to AD. See here AP is nothing but AD plus DP. Okay, and if I am going to draw a perpendicular from C on AP, that is CD, then DP is equal to CQ. Okay, now AP is equal to AD plus DP. AD plus DP. Now DP is nothing but CQ. So this is AD plus CQ, that is AP. Okay. Now if I am going to consider AP as AD plus DP and DP is nothing but CQ, then AP will be AD plus CQ. So instead of AP I can put AD plus CQ. So it will be minus AD minus CQ. So CQ minus CQ plus CQ got cancelled. Then it will be AB plus BC minus AD. Okay. Now the optical path difference will be the actual path difference or the optical path difference. The path difference, you have to just correct it. The actual or optical path difference will be, we have to consider AB plus AB and BC. See, here AB is inside the medium, having the refractive index is mu, and BC also inside the medium, having the refractive index mu, and its optical path will be mu into AB, and BC having the optical path is mu into BC. So instead of AB, the optical path will be mu AB plus mu BC. So this can be written as mu AB plus mu BC, or mu into AB plus BC minus AD. Now plus lambda by 2 is why. See, this AD is due to a reflection from the point A. Okay, so at this point we can found this is rarer medium and this is denser medium. So according to Stokes treatments, we studied that when the ray from rarer to denser reflected, or if a ray is coming from the rarer medium and reflected at the interface of denser medium, then the reflected light have the path difference will be lambda by 2, or phase difference is pi. The phase difference is pi. phase difference is pi means we know that phase difference is nothing but 2 pi lambda into path difference. The path difference will be pi got cancelled, path difference will be delta will be lambda by 2. So here the same thing is considered, that this ray SA, when it is reflected at the point A, this junction is nothing but is a rarer and denser junction. So this side is rarer, this side is denser. So the reflected ray AD will have the extra path difference will be lambda by 2. So only for that, instead of AD we have to write AD plus lambda by 2. AD plus lambda by 2. Yes, here you have to put bracket. Okay, here you have to put bracket. Let this is the equation number 1. Now we have to consider ADC triangle and AGC triangle to find out sin I and sin R. Why? Because we want to simplify this equation. Only for that we have to consider these two triangles for our simplification. So first we have to consider ADC triangle in our figure. ADC triangle. Okay. In ADC triangle we have to consider sin I is equal to AD by AC. That is, sin I from this triangle we found that sin I is equal to AD by AC. How? See, this angle is I. Okay, this angle is 90 degree and this angle is also 90 degree. Okay, so here this angle is nothing but 90 minus I. This angle is nothing but 90 minus I. Okay, so this plus this is 180 degree. Okay, this plus this is 180 degree. Or in this way also we can think that as this is 90 degree, this plus this should have to be 90 degree, because the sum of the angle of a triangle is 180 degree. So this angle is 90 minus I. Sum of this to this has to be 90 degree. Has to be 90 degree. So this angle will be how much? Will be I. Okay, because 90 minus I plus I is equal to 90 degree. Okay, so this angle will be I. Now in this triangle ADC, sin I will be AD by AC. Okay, so this we have been found. Now we have to consider AGC triangle to find out the sin R equal to AG by AC. Consider AGC, that is AG and C triangle. This triangle. In this triangle, the sin R is equal to AG by AC. Sin R is equal to AG by AC. So now, if this angle will be R, then sin R will be equal to AG by AC, because CG is the perpendicular. C to G is the perpendicular on AB. Okay, so AGC is a right angle triangle. if this angle will be R, then sin R will be AG by AC. Now, how this angle will be R? See, this angle is R, refracted angle. Okay, this angle is R. Okay, now this angle is 90 degree, because this is the normal, means this angle is 90 degree. If this angle will be R, then this angle will be 90 minus R. Okay, now if this angle is 90 degree, because CG is perpendicular, so this angle here, this angle will be 90 degree. So AGC triangle, in AGC triangle, two angles we found, one is 90 degree, another is 90 minus R, and this angle will be how much? This angle will be R, because if this will be 90 degree, then summation over this plus this has to be 90 degree, because 90 plus 90 is equal to 180 degree, which is the summation of all the angles of a triangle. So if it is 90 degree, then summation of this angle plus this angle has to be 90 degree. So now, then how much it will be that summation of this angle will be 90 degree? This angle should have to be R. So 90 minus R plus R will be equal to 90 degree. Okay, so this angle will be R. Now from the triangle AGC, sin R will be AG by AC. Okay, AG by AC. Now from the triangle AGC, we found that sin R equal to AG by AC. According to Snell's law, sin I by sin R is equal to mu. So sin I equal to AD by AC, sin R equal to AG by AC. So AD by AC by AG by AC, that is AD by AG. Okay, so that implies AD equal to mu into AG. Now from the equation number 1, or the equation number 1 can be written as, this equation number 1 can be written as path reference or optical path reference, or the so called actual path reference will be mu into AE minus, instead of AD I can write mu AG plus lambda by 2. Instead of AD, mu AG plus lambda by 2. Here how it is AB plus BC is equal to AE? We have to consider the figure. See, AB plus BC is nothing but AE, because this is T and this distance also T. Okay, so therefore BC is nothing but BE. BC equal to BE. So AB plus BC, or we can say AB plus BE, that is AE. Okay, so AB plus BC is nothing but AB plus BE, that is AE. Okay, so now if we have to take common of mu here, then mu into AE minus AG minus lambda by 2. Okay, so next we have to move now the so called actual optical path reference or actual path reference will be mu GE minus lambda by 2. See, that is AE minus AG, say in the figure, AE minus AG is nothing but GE. Okay, so AE minus AG is nothing but our GE. This is GE. Okay, so actual path difference, or the so-called optical path difference, is equal to mu GE minus lambda by 2. Now we have to consider the triangle CGE to finding the cos r plus theta. CGE triangle to finding the cos r plus theta. Consider the figure CGE triangle. CGE triangle, that is CGE triangle. CGE triangle. CGE triangle. So CG is a perpendicular, right? So CGE is a right angle triangle. So here, if this angle will be r plus theta, then cos r plus theta will be equal to how much? Will be equal to GE by CE. GE by CE. That has been written over here. GE by CE. Cos r plus theta is equal to GE by CE. So first of all, we have to analyze how this angle is r plus theta. If this will be r plus theta, our problem is solved. So how it will be r plus theta? Carefully you have to watch this one. See, if this is r, this is the incident angle I, and corresponding refractor angle is, this one is r. Okay. Now here this dotted line is a perpendicular. That means this is a 90 degree. This angle is the 90 degree. This is theta. That means this angle will be 90 minus theta. If this angle will be 90 minus theta, this is the cross line. So we can say this angle, Paripurak angle means this is 90 minus theta. So obviously this angle will be 90 minus theta. Okay. And now consider this small triangle. This is the small triangle. Okay. This triangle. This is this triangle. As this is this dotted line, K dash K is a perpendicular normal. So this angle will be 90 degree. Right. So this angle is 90 minus theta. So obviously this angle will be theta, because this angle plus this angle should have to be 90 degree. Okay. So this angle 90 minus theta plus dash will be 90 degree, plus theta will be 90 degree. In this way you can understand, or in this way also, in another way you can understand that 90 minus theta one angle plus another angle 90 plus, we don't know this angle value, suppose x will be 180 degree, so this x will be theta. Okay, so in this way we can understand, in this way also we can understand. So we found this angle is theta. Okay, this angle is theta. Now we have to find out how this angle will be r plus theta. Carefully you have to watch. Okay, so here you have to watch carefully. So I will suggest that first you draw this figure carefully, properly, neat and clean in your note. Okay, then whenever you have to study your note, you can understand. If the ray diagram will be not perfect, then the so-called angles whatever we are analyzing here, it could not be understood later whenever you are going to follow your note. So this is a suggestion that you have to draw the figure perfectly neat and clean. Okay. Now we have to find out how this angle will be r plus theta. Carefully you have to watch. See, A B K triangle. In A B K triangle, one angle is r, another angle is theta. Okay. So this angle will be r plus theta. Okay. This angle will be this angle will be 180 minus r plus theta. Again I am going to repeat. In case of ABK triangle, two angles are r theta. The third angle, this angle, will be 180 minus r plus theta. Okay. This angle will be 180 minus r plus theta. Okay. So if this angle will be 180 minus r plus theta, then this is the cross line. This is, see, k dash k and another a e. These two lines are cross lines. K dash a e. These two lines are cross. So the two angles, this and this, will be equal. Okay. Now this angle we found 180 minus r plus theta. Consider this angle. See, this k dash is perpendicular on O and N on this surface. K and k dash k is a perpendicular. That means this angle is 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. Okay. Hence this angle will be 90 plus this angle. Let this angle is x. So this whole angle also can be written as 90 plus x. That means this angle equal to this angle. This angle is 180 minus r plus theta is equal to 90 plus x. This is x. So implies that x is equal to 90 minus r plus theta. Yes or no? X equal to 90 minus r plus theta. Okay. Now consider the triangle B, E, and suppose this is E dash. This point is suppose E dash. This is E and this is E dash. So now consider B, E dash, E triangle. This is 90 degree. Okay. This is unknown angle we are going to find out. Suppose this unknown angle is y. We don't know what is the angle. This is the angle, suppose y. This is 90 degree. That means this angle plus this angle. That means x plus y should have to be 90 degree. Okay. Now x we found 90 minus r plus theta. 90 minus r plus theta is x. Y is unknown. But x plus y is 90 degree. That means x plus y equal to 90 degree. Should have to be 90 degree because three angles, the summation of three angles should have to be 90 degree. So 1 is 90 degree means this two angles summation has to be 90 degree. So x plus y should have to be 90 degree. So x plus y will be 90 degree. That means x equal to 90 minus r plus theta plus y is equal to 90 degree. That implies y equal to how much? R plus theta. Okay. That means this angle or y or this angle is equal to r plus theta. Got it? Okay. Now we found that from the triangle CGE, cos r plus theta will be GE by CE. Now consider the triangle CGE. in this triangle, this angle is 90 degree, this angle is r plus theta. The cos r plus theta will be GE by CE. So GE by CE is equal to GE by 2T. See, CE is nothing but T plus T 2T. CE is nothing but this is C to E dash is T, E dash to E is T. So C to E is nothing but 2T. So GE. So here cos r plus theta is equal to GE by CE. From the triangle we found cos r plus theta is equal to GE by CE, and GE by 2T, because we found here that CE is nothing but 2T. So GE by 2T. So that implies GE is equal to 2T cos r plus theta. Okay. Now here this is how much we found. The delta actual will be 2T. G, instead of G we can write 2T cos r plus theta. So this will be mu, or 2 mu T cos r plus theta minus lambda by 2. That is equation number 2. Now for the bright fringe, the condition for the bright fringes is the optical path difference should have to be equal to n lambda. So that we found the optical path difference 2 mu T cos r plus theta minus lambda by 2 should have to be n lambda. That implies 2 mu T cos r plus theta will be equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. Okay, here n is equal to 0, 1, 2, like this. Now for the dark fringes, the condition for the dark fringes, we know that the path difference would have to be 2n plus 1 lambda by 2. The path difference here we found 2 mu T cos r plus theta minus lambda by 2. 2 mu T cos r plus theta minus lambda by 2 has to be 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, or 2 mu T cos r plus theta will be equal to n plus 1 lambda. So up to this much we have been completed, and before class will be start, I will give this figure. You have to draw this figure perfectly, then go for the video with your note. I also somewhere I have been corrected this two name, that is this is CQ and this is AP, and here also I have been somewhat corrected that the actual or optical path difference, you have to write actual or optical path, and then go through the video with your note and clear this, or study this interference by wave shaped film clearly. If any doubt, we have to discuss. Thank you.